So this is Algebra 1B in Unit 1. I'm going to go over some visual representations of data, however you want to pronounce it. All of the vocabulary is in the tutorial and you can find it there. So I'm not going to go over that, but I am going to go over different kind of graphs and plots. So a dot plot is one way to show data. And here we have a table with a bunch of numbers in it: 10, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14, 15, 15, 12, 12, 18, 17, 12, 10, 17. And we know 5 employees delivered 12 pizzas each. So if we're looking at the chart, like 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 that are like 12 is listed 5 times. So if we look at this right here, there's 5 dots above the 12 because 12 was counted 5 times. So all a dot plot is counting how many times each number is counted and then putting that many dots above the number on the number line. So if I were to count the number 13, there's 2 13s. So right here above 13, there's 2 dots. If I were to count the number 15, there's 1, 2 15s, and above the 15, there's 2 dots. So basically you're putting however many dots for how many times the number is counted. All right. And looking at the dot plot, you can tell that we look at 18 over here, that one employee delivered 18 pizzas. Also, we can see that how many number of pizzas delivered by an employee was 10. So right here is 10, and your answer is 2. Okay, so that's the gist of a dot plot. And clusters and gaps, kind of what it sounds like. In this dot plot, the 2 circled areas are clusters, meaning like large groups of numbers grouped together. And then a gap is where there's no dots at all. And then minimum, maximum, range, and outlier. So let me see if I can zoom into this. So the range is like the X value. It goes from 2 all the way to 12. That would be the range. So from 2 to 12 is 10 spaces or 10 centimeters. The minimum is the lowest number, so that would be 2. The maximum is the highest number, which is 12. And the outlier is 2 because it's way off here by itself, not connected to the group. If I were to go further, I could say that the mode is 10. It's the number that is repeated the most. And then you could find the mean and the median, but I don't think it's asking for that. Oh, here we go. Mode and mean. So like I said, the mode is the number that's repeated the most. So here 10 is repeated the most. There's more dots above 10 than anything else. The mean is the number in the middle, not the number in the middle, it's the average. So if you were to add up all these, like 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3. So if you add up all the numbers and then divide by the total number, you get the mean, the average. There's a train going by. So the data can look like shapes. This is symmetric, meaning it's pretty even on both sides. This one is more data is to the right of the graph, so that is skewed left. Okay, so skewed left, that means most of the data is on the right of the graph. If it's skewed right, most of the data is on the left of the graph. Okay, so another type of graph is called a histogram. And with the histograms, you have ranges. Like if you look at this graph here, it goes from 40 to 50 and from 50 to 60. So it looks like every 10, the interval, I guess this is math scores. So every 10 points is grouped together. And that's what a histogram is. So if we look at the interval between 40 and 50, so if somebody scored between a 40 and 50, one person did, so it's listed as 1. And if you group the scores between 50 and 60, 7 people did. They need to study their math a bit more. So this is 7, this grouping right here. And then we can see that for both 60 to 70 and 70 to 80, that 5 people each, so 5 here and 5 here. And then 80 to 90, 3 people got, and 90 to 100, 2 people got. So it really looks like this teacher needs to focus on the students that scored between 50 and 80. And which way is this skewed? Well, it looks like more is to the right, or is skewed right. More of it is leaning to the left. So as a teacher, I would look at this and be like, oh my, I need to focus my energy on this left side where the majority of the students are. Okay, so a box plot has different quartiles where it's split into sections. And here we have numbers and put them in order from least to greatest. So all you do is you take the numbers, put them in order from least to greatest. You're doing that with all of your data for all of the other different kind of plots. So you find the median, which is the number in the middle. And for this one, the median is 13. Think of a median like the number in the middle of the road. Am I on mute? Okay, I thought I was on mute. So 13 is the number in the middle, and that's the median. 10 is the minimum, that's the smallest number. 18 is the maximum, that's the biggest number. And then to get quartile 1 and quartile 3, you get the number in the middle between 10 and 13, so that's 12, and the number in between 13 and 18 is 15. So those are our quartiles. And then you can make a box and whisker plot, okay? So this big line in the middle here is the median. So that is 13. 13 is the median, it's the number in the middle. The smallest number is the minimum, which is 10. The largest number, the maximum, is 18. And then we have our quartiles. So quartile 1 was 12 and quartile 3 was 15. So if we're looking at this, the 10 and the 18 are kind of like outliers, and the majority of the numbers are going to fall inside of this box, okay? And if we were to graph this on like a bell curve, it would look like that. The highest number would be, you know, under the bell. That's kind of, the box is like a different way to show that. Okay. And just like the histograms, You can also see if something is symmetric. Is it even on both sides? Like this one, it's symmetric, it's even on both sides. Here it is right skewed because more of the data is on the left, and this one is left skewed because more of the data is on the right. I know that's kind of backwards, but box and whisker plots are helpful because you can see the median and where the majority of the data falls. So that is good to know. And it shows if there's outliers. So that's also good to know. And it shows the minimum and maximum. All right, so if you have any questions about visual representations of data, in other words, graphs, let me know. Take care.